Oops. 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 There we go. Wow. What a what an auspicious start to today to today's stream, huh? All right. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about a lot of things, really, because first off, it might look nice right now, but that's only because I've got a lot of the mess in this room just pushed out of the field of view. But another thing is, well, obviously we are quite late. We're about 14 minutes late. I don't really know what to say. I just haven't managed my time very well, I guess, and so I had to hastily put together a bunch of different stuff for this stream. I mean, I made the thumbnail just like, what, 1 or 2 hours ago? I've been futzing with another neat little surprise in Photoshop, and it's not even finished yet. And lastly, I want to apologize for last week. Obviously, we did not stream last week, even though we were supposed to, because I just naturally assumed that there was going to be a One Piece chapter, and then it turned out that there wasn't for whatever reason. I guess Jump was on break. I don't know why. Just for future reference, by the way, if there's ever not a One Piece chapter on any given week, just assume that we're not streaming, because I don't always know, and when I don't know, I'm not always good at thinking on my feet and coming up with like a quick substitute for what we could do for the stream, and so it may be that I have to just cancel. And when I cancel, unfortunately, I don't always post about it on social media like I should. And that's a bad habit that I've been getting into, is not advertising my streams properly. I just procrastinate, and then, like, when it's time to stream, I haven't put the word out almost at all. I did advertise on Facebook, though, which is why it's really important for anyone who's interested in the channel to check out, all of those social media profiles down there, because sometimes I post on one but not the other, just because I don't get around to it. But we got some neat stuff going on. Check this out. You might notice this little dude in the background. You remember the red Psycho Ranger from when I showed off my little retro battle station over there? Well, now we got his bro joining us. Finally, I got a Psycho Ranger in my favorite color, and he's looking pretty good. Got him posing over here with this dude. Yeah, kind of going back to back. Haven't really figured out where to put them yet, so they're just kind of chilling over there. And that'll do for now. Ooh. A little temperamental, though. A little top heavy. And the torso on the blue Psycho Ranger is a little loosey-goosey. So it can be hard to get him to not fall over. Still better than, the one Haruka figurine back there. Sorry. When I was saying before, I had to quickly assemble some stuff before stream. One of them was lunch. So I just hastily crammed a burger down my gullet, and now I'm sipping on some Livewire. Because, gotta have my Livewire. Uh, but the biggest development, obviously, is the premiere of my first video, my first proper video with like editing and everything. Yeah, it wasn't just a myth. I wasn't just making stuff up. I actually was working on it this whole time. I mean, did I use my time well? Not sure about that. I mean, this video was like 9 months coming, 9 months in the making, and only now, within the past like week, has it finally debuted. See, that was my solution to the fact that there was no One Piece last week. Is that stuff? Oh my gosh, I really don't know what to do. I don't want to try and figure out what to do. And it's a new year. I still don't have my video. Let's just really just firing on all cylinders, full steam ahead. Let's go ahead and try and put this video out in time. And I mean, that's not quite what happened. This only debuted 5 days ago. But that Sunday, I was really trying to do my best to get it real nice, because it was mostly finished. But I don't know, there was just something wrong about it, something off. And so let's just check it out real quick and do, I guess, a little behind the scenes, I guess. Oh, and I forgot to hit start recording, so that's annoying. But I mean, whatever. Nothing. Didn't miss out on too much. But I do that sometimes. Forget to record so that it's easier to edit later. Of course, by now I've got such a huge backlog of stuff that needs editing. And that's another thing that we're going to need to talk about, because I had a little bit of a scare earlier last week. Voices. But yep, there it is. And whatever. Not gonna futz with the volume. Whatever. You don't need the volume. You can just watch the original video. I highly recommend it. But yeah, here it is. And as you can see, very critical of myself in these opening moments. I mean, this is my first time streaming, so I was really, really nervous. I mean, I'm always nervous, I still get stage fright. And probably always will, honestly. A lot of times when I'm late to stream, that's really just it. I'm just psyching myself up. But yeah, there was like a good 10 minutes of dead air right at the beginning. And there was a while, I don't know, a few weeks where I just forgot to add text. I mean, right now it says big talk from the big mouth, because I don't know, I didn't know what to put for this part. It didn't feel like putting just let's talk or let's chat or whatever, so I just put big talk from the big mouth. I guess I was eating at the time I texted that, and so I just thought, whatever. Makes me think I could really go for some big mouth bites from Chili's. Too bad all the Chili's in my area suck. They're terrible. Food's so dry and flavorless. But yeah, I forgot to add text. And yeah, the lighting is so bad. Way too many shadows. I thought the natural lighting would be fine, but it really wasn't. It just looks like it's supernova is happening outside. It's like, I don't know what that's about. I do know what it's about. It's just, I got a really cheap camera, and that's all there is to it. So now I keep the blinds closed. You do still see a little light filtering in back there. But I've been stepping it up. I got neat little decorations and stuff all around me to try and punch it up. I've got more used to my streamer lighting, so that's a little better. I mean, it's still a little too bright. My forehead's pretty shiny. And my lips are really red. I don't still have sauce on my face, do I? Oh, and by the way, this is one of my oldest shirts right here. I think this dates back from like my middle school days. Right alongside the shirt that I'm wearing in my debut right here. This is also really, really old, and you can probably tell. Yeah, I feel pretty confident that we've stepped up our lighting game. Got a little more confidence. Yeah, March 10th. Oh, golly. And this only debuted 5 days ago. That's rough. Man. And back there, ooh, that really needed dusting. It still needs dusting. I mean, just luck. And here I am just doing my little introduction. And by the way, this I had a lot to learn or relearn about Photoshop, because it's been a while since I talked about this. So I'll go ahead and talk about it again. A lot of my the streaming setup that I still use to this day. Oh, just pause real quick. A lot of the streaming setup that I still use today was put together in haste because I was trying to capitalize real quick on the live action One Piece fad that was going on. You know, it just came out back in, what was it, like August of 2023? And so I tried to put it together real quick, and obviously that didn't work out. I didn't debut until March. But yeah, that's the setup I've been rolling with, and I've always meant to update it. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But I also want to say that this shot right here, this was not the way it was for a while, because originally it was chapter 1131. And then again, I dragged my feet so long on editing that another 4 chapters came out, and so I had to redo this shot. Yeah. But yeah, I was really, really rusty with my Photoshop game. And so that's why you see lots of little imperfections and inconsistencies and stuff like that with the overlay, the way that the design that you see on the little cards right here, not the same as the Cross Age Productions logo here on the border. So I've tried to be smarter about that. I try really hard to keep my brand consistent. That's why I noted down the hex codes for all of the colors that I use. And that's why I try to always use the same design for Cross Age Productions as well. But man, looking back on how imperfect everything is, and still is to this day, and just thinking about how much harder I made everything on myself, like, I'm really looking forward to punching things up. The same way that editing this video that you see here has been a long time coming. Updating my look has been a long time coming too, and that's still a work in progress. But we'll talk about that progress after this. Yeah, just that's good. That's good. Just hastily drew like a little crown in Photoshop as well. But it looks okay. It looks like Ice King's crown. And man, a lot of things in the setup. Oh, by the way, lots of You'll see a lot of me like wiping my upper lip. I perspire there a lot, especially when I'm nervous. And that's another aspect. It's just like a little nervous tick. So this is not me picking my nose on stream. It ain't like that. So sorry to the hygienically. Yeah, what happened here? What is this? Why is the camera like way up there now all of a sudden? That is so bad. And then suddenly it's fixed. I don't remember what happened there, but that was really dumb. Also try to get better about just framing overall. Trying to not be dead center of the camera. Because it was only within the past few months that I learned about the rule of thirds. Should have really brushed up on that earlier. I mean, I'm pretty sure I knew about it before and I just forgot. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Yep, very reflective of my experience with New Phyrexia. And I wish I had fixed my hair for that photo. Yeah, that's something I took a picture of myself real quick in the middle of me editing this because I had this idea of my own little spin on the why can't I hold all these, what was it? Why can't I hold all these limes meme? And that's what I came up with. And yet the guy in the meme is clearly black. I wasn't sure if I should edit his arms to be white. I'm not sure if that was in poor taste, but whatever. I think it's funnier. It's like that one episode with Aqua Teen Hunger Force when they stitch Carl's head onto the corpse of like an old black guy. Let's see. Oh, that's another thing that I whipped up real quick. I thought I paused that. Yeah, I whipped this up real quick. Everything about this here. See, my biggest issue with the video as it was for a long time, just too quiet, too much dead air. But then on the flip side, I thought, oh golly, what do I do? Do I just pipe in some music that I like? I don't want to get copyrighted. Which, we got to talk about that also after this video. So just real quick, and I should have used Dark Audacity. That's what I use a lot of the time for messing with audio, but I just didn't want to mess with it, and I was in a hurry, so I just used whatever tools were in Adobe Premiere to make my own little lo-fi mixes of a lot of the music that I listen to. Music that's just kind of chill, good for playing in the background, and not even necessarily infamous for getting copyright struck a lot anyway. I mean, it's not like I'm playing Metallica. But that was my solution. Just make some quick and dirty lo-fi mixes of a lot of music, a lot of, what was it? It's mostly video game music in this video. And then have that playing softly in the background. I actually want to go back and like remake these tracks because I think that's actually good to have playing just in the background of the stream. If I could do some mixing and come up with like a streaming playlist of my own. And then following that, just to, one, add some more visual flair to the video, and two, just kind of cover my ass. Because I feel like I had to give credit where credit was due. I came up with these little now playing info boxes where you can see in the background it's the Cross H Productions logo that's all tessellated, and that was not intentional, by the way. I just made the design and then found out that it tessellates really well, so I'm happy with that, and then tried to make it give it just like this cool kind of techie look. The animation on it needs work though. It's not very smooth. I need to brush up on that. I need to find a way to get to like track where like it comes in and then it kind of slows down and then it does the same thing in reverse. And here's one of my favorite sound bites right there, the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack scream. It's good. And here's my favorite internet critic, Spoonie. I really wish he would come back. I should not have blown those videos all the way up though, because I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Spoonie's out copywriting his stuff or anything. But I'm trying to be careful about that. Because, well, again, we'll talk about it later. See, just talking about some of my favorite internet personalities. Super Best Friends rules. I've been binging their Deadly Premonition Let's Play. I was actually just watching it right before the stream. And then, oh my gosh, I absolutely love Pan Pizza's new 3D model. He teased it way back in, what was it, like 2022? I'm trying to remember when I went to MomoCon. I think that was 2022, yeah. He teased it way back when, and if you look in the background of some of his shots, he's got a wireframe kind of teaser of his new model spinning in the background, and then he finally finished it and debuted it sometime last year, and it just looks awesome. I'd love to have a model like that as a VTuber. Very cel shaded and colorful and kind of low poly. I've had a fascination with like low poly, low res type models ever since I watched that one YouTube short, Bridget's Day Out. I thought that was just so gorgeous. And I do know there are some VTubers who do that kind of thing. There was like an artist VTuber, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but she has a low poly model with a very pixelated face. And yeah, this intro that he uses, I remember this being at the start of almost all of his old videos, but then when I went to go get the footage for this video, it was actually really hard to find. I don't know. This is just some sort of Mandela effect, I guess. I remember him using this intro all the time. Then I go back and it's not the case at all. But yeah, high pass intro. Really wish he used it more. And yes, Billy is the most underrated ranger. I mean, this is the guy who he was there since day one. He had this huge, like, I hate to say glow up because I hate that phrase. I think it's so cringe, but that's what it was. It was a glow up where he started out super nerdy with the Coke bottle glasses and the overalls and whatever, no fashion sense. And then, like, by season 2 or 3, he's like way buff. I mean, he was always buff, but they didn't want to show that off because they wanted to emphasize that he's a nerd. But, you know, eventually he got to where he was really showing off his guns. He was getting shirtless. And then come Zio, he's looking real classy with a black turtleneck and everything. And he switched it up to where, like, he's the full-time tech guy. I mean, he was already pretty much pulling double duty as the tech guy and also a Power Ranger. Which, I mean, a part of me feels like that should have been delegated to Alpha because Alpha doesn't really do a lot. He's just like a little metal goober that hangs out at the command center. But they gave it to Billy because Billy's a nerdy character, and it was quite the boon for his reputation because he just did so much and got so much screen time. And then once he was done being a ranger, he still stayed really relevant and really cool, just making cool stuff with Zordon and Alpha in the command center. And if the whole story of the kind of abuse that David Yost went through on set, if you know, I'm not going to get into that right now, but very sad. Very sad. Dude deserves way more credit considering how much work he put in. More work, I think, than the most other Rangers. I mean, he was probably right under Jason David Frank as Tommy Oliver in terms of screen time. And here I am hyping up Guyver. Guyver rules. I'm actually planning on doing a stream of a new fan film that's coming out called Guyver Midnight. And unfortunately, it's been delayed a couple times. I need to catch back up on that. Try and catch the latest news on what's going on with that film. Because I've been looking forward to it. It looks really good. The costumes are high quality. And I've been saying for a while that we're really ripe for a new Guyver. Something to break us out of the old DC Marvel stalemates. And people are so sick of that. They want a new breed of superhero to change things up. Now let's see. Yeah, Fully Cooley. Obviously my favorite. You still see. I got the Tower of Power in the background. So that huge stack of yellow stuff in the background. Well, I mean part of that's Scott Pilgrim. Wait, what was that? Oh, what happened? Oh, no. Something went wrong in the timeline, and so the little caption where I'm nervously scratching my nose, it doesn't play at the right time. Dang, I didn't even notice that. That's such a small detail, though. Oh well. There's not a lot. I don't think there's a lot I can do about it now. Whatever. Just a little animating hiccup. And that's not supposed to play there. That totally interrupted the little gag. Ugh, I don't know. I think I might need to make a new version of this. I don't know. Is that possible? Can you remake a video then upload it with the same profile? Because I don't want to lose all the views that I had accumulated. So far the video's tracking pretty good. I mean, relatively speaking, it's got 17 views and it's got 1 like, which not all my videos have. A lot of streams, they are likeless to this day. A couple of them have likes. I'm gonna have to check that out. But yeah, I wanted to do my own spin on the this meme where it's little sound bites that people recycle to review stuff. And so I wanted to do a little lightning round where I just do them all super quick and I give them a score of 1 to 10. And I'm thinking of editing this and turning it into a short. Just this bit where I talk about Fully Cooley. And let me scan the timeline real quick. What else would make for a good YouTube short? I guess talking about Magic the Gathering a little bit or my taste in music. But the bit where I review Fully Cooley springs to mind. Oh my gosh, that art is really rough. The One Piece anime does not always look good. Look at this little pencil head. course, blowing it up super big doesn't help. Just using that one little clip, I was already kind of hesitant about it. That's why it's extra blown up, because I know Toei is very protective of the One Piece anime. But thankfully, this video did not get copyright struck. Oh, everything is super chill. I edited it good, and everything is in fair use, and YouTube sees that, and there's no worries for now. I know YouTube is infamous for changing its mind in some cases, so we'll see if it's still the case. But like I said, I'm already kind of thinking about making a like a remastered version of this, because there are some editing foibles going on. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure I still have the Premiere files, so I should be able to switch it up real good. Yeah, also, Viacom. Viacom is also very protective of their IP, so I tried very hard to edit the last Airbender footage to not be offending. So it's got the vignetting around it, or should I say the feathering. And then the footage is also sped up considerably. And when I speed up or slow down video or audio, I try to not do it in quarter measures, because then you can just use YouTube to speed up or slow down so that it plays at normal speed. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got my little martial arts collection. Load. Yep, there it is in all its dusty glory. I'm really bad about dusting. And yeah, hey Arnold in the background. Bet you didn't know that was martial arts. I mean, I didn't want to like futz with my collection just to take this little picture. So this is all martial arts. Some of this is martial arts. A lot of this is martial arts, and then over here you see a little bit of like superhero movies and other Blu-rays, and then in the back I've got my my animated features. So Hey Arnold, Angry Beavers, Secret of NIMH, that's a good one. Nightmare Before Christmas, Titan AE. Hey, I forgot that I owned that. Metalocalypse, I own the complete series now. I should go ahead and fish those out and ditch them now that I have the complete series. Because room's getting pretty cramped. My storage is getting pretty cramped down on those little shelves there. There's a little stack of stuff right here that doesn't have a home. Let's see. Aeon Flux is still in the saran wrap. And that is sadly the case for a lot of stuff on this shelf. You can see this right here. What is that? Something Mantis. That's still in the shrink wrap. Black Dynamite. That's still in the shrink wrap. The original King Kong versus Godzilla. That's still in the shrink wrap. Some of the anime I have over here still in the shrink wrap. I've got a long like backlog of not just stuff I need to edit, but stuff I need to watch. All this anime and movies and TV shows and stuff. And you can see Volcano High. Well, I forget who that was. I thought that was Snoop Dogg, but then I'm remembering, and I don't think Snoop Dogg was actually in that. No, I think Snoop Dogg did dub a character in that movie. It's been too long since I watched it. My memory's a little rusty there. But surprisingly good movie. The whole gimmick was that it was an ensemble cast of rap stars doing the dubbing for this weird, I think, Korean martial arts movie. But, you know, they didn't phone it in. They actually tried. And I think it came out pretty good. There I go again with, like, rubbing my nose. You'd think I was on coke. And I was about to make a coke joke, but then I glanced down and I see that, thankfully, I cleared out all my empty coke cans. I have a bad habit of letting those accumulate for way too long before I finally pitch them. In my closet, I got a nice little can for recycling. But let's see what else we got. Not much else going on. But then we get to this. This is the part of the video that I'm most proud of, honestly. And it's this little, the little end scream that I cooked up. Did I say end scream? End scream. Which, I don't really know what inspired me to do this. This wasn't even really for an end scream. I just wanted to take footage of my battle station with some chill wave playing in the background, and then I wound up finding a use for it here. And wow, isn't that great? Doesn't that just have tons of soul to it? The soft glow of the lava lamps and my very 90s-esque little blacklight CD holder. That's my PS3 playing on this old CRT. I had a picture of like FF7 concept art, or official rendered art rather, saved to use as like a background, and so I thought it'd be neat to just pull that up. You got my little speaker here in the corner. The speaker is actually playing A Tree Among Shrubs by Men I Trust, but you know, the audio was crap, so I removed the audio and just played my own lo-fi mix of Tree Among Shrubs. It's looking pretty cool. And yeah, the ending spiel is not great. You know, I'm not really good at selling myself, I guess. I'm not professional enough for that. I'm too casual. It's hard to take myself seriously enough. Oh, and I'm also noticing, I forgot I did this, but I like sprinkled some gaming memorabilia. So you see a couple controllers there. And I got my, not Nintendo DS, Game Boy Advance SP sitting there open. I should have had a game playing on that as well. That would have been a nice touch. Unfortunately, this setup is no longer around. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the setup I have now. It's still got plenty of soul to it. And I definitely don't regret getting rid of that really huge, really heavy, ugly, overbearing desk that I used to have. I mean, no offense to the guy who made it. He's a local carpenter, so, I mean, hopefully he didn't get his feelings hurt too bad watching this video. If he does. Probably won't. But I'm pretty happy with the one I have now, although I did just, I don't know what happened. I think I was, like, banging my mouse like a caveman because it wasn't working right. And I really just need to get a new one. As much as I hate to admit it, this thing costs like $100. And it really needs replaced because it's just all over the place. I already talked about how clicking and dragging with this mouse is more like a suggestion. Now it's just, I can't make heads or tails of it. It's just rhyme or reason. No rhyme or reason on, like, when single clicks turn into double clicks. Or when clicking and dragging turns into clicking and dragging and dragging and clicking and dragging. Just trying to edit anything in Photoshop, it's just all over the place. Trying to make one selection instead it makes three. Try to select one layer and it selects all of them. It's nuts. So I'm gonna have to shell out some cash for that. I do still really like this mouse though. I mean, this is really right up my alley in terms of aesthetic. I know a lot of people criticize how trashy these are, but the super teched out cyberpunk, like almost looking like Raiden from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance type mouse, I just eat that up. I eat up all the little glowy, shiny bits all over the place. The pulsing lights, all the little bells and whistles. So even though this mouse has kind of done me dirty now, I'm still probably just going to get another one. I thought I heard someone say that Mad Catz isn't around anymore. Which, I don't know, gonna have to fact check that. But yeah, that's my first video in a nutshell. It has some problems, but maybe I'll just learn to live with them. Or just make a new introductory video altogether. That was actually something I was considering, is just doing that same concept again. Just a plain and simple introductory video, but, with a better setup, more confident presentation, the background is better, the lighting is better, just all around better. And I gotta take this and just cut out this little end screen that I got going on here so I can use it on other videos, because like I said, that was my favorite part. I know that doesn't sound great, does it? My favorite part of my own videos when it ends. But now I want to talk about something else that's been going on, and I've alluded to it enough. But we had a little scare just last week where I was looking, and I suppose it's okay to show this. This is going on a little under the hood, a little behind the scenes, but I downloaded the mobile version of YouTube Studio just to see if I could do some quick and dirty work on my contents while I'm on the go or on vacation, or I've got some downtime at work. I can focus on my other job. And on several of these streams, I saw the word, and you know what word I'm talking about. The bird. The bird is the word. No, but actually the word is copyright. So right here, let's pull this up. Let's pull up the brutal shame of it all. So yeah, we've got this right here. Restrictions, copyright. Both of these videos where I check out the live action Flixbender, they say copyright on them. Let's see. Both of my Scott Pilgrim Takes Off videos, they've got copyright next to them, and I kind of already knew that. I think on the first one, I actually had to go in and mute some audio. I mean, it's suggested using their new AI fueled whatever, like editing things on the fly. But I just went ahead and went for the nuclear option of just muting that audio entirely. So let's see. What happened? Yeah, so copyright, copyrights, both of those Airbender videos. Last couple actually turned out okay. Let's see. The two Scott Pilgrim videos, copyright. My Cinco de Mayo video with the Power Rangers, copyright. And yes, Gunsmith Cast, the lost episode. I've got that recorded, so I'm gonna have to whip up a little edited version. But yeah, I saw that and I was really like I felt the fear of God come over me, like skin crawling. It literally felt like my blood was running cold. Like when I'm really scared is this like full body transformation where I just feel sick from head to toe. Thankfully, you know, you mouse over this and it says the owner allows the content to be used on YouTube. So, you know. So not a copyright strike, but a copyright pass, a copyright shrugging of shoulders. Copyright, forget about it. But it was still pretty scary because every single time that happened, that was a time when I could have gotten copyright struck. Or, I mean, that's the worst case scenario. It could also be just like, you know, like I said with the Scott Pilgrim video, I would have to mute the audio or use their little AI option to sort of like smart censor it. And I really hate censoring my stuff, but whatever. You gotta pick your battles, I guess. So, all things considered, I think it's safe to say that we cannot continue in this way. And so, moving forward, when I check out stuff like that, I'm gonna have to play with OBS and try and see if I can put some audio filters on stuff, like some reverb or pitch it down, pitch it up, anything to mask the audio, or even just play it without audio entirely, as awkward as that is. But, you know, if you want to watch the real thing, watch the real thing. That's not what this is about. This is not a substitute for watching all this stuff. Don't come here to watch Flickspender or Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. You go watch that, and then you can come here and watch my commentary once you've supported the real thing. Yeah, it's still pretty scary, so just wanted to talk about that. I did not realize just how vigilant YouTube's little system is when it comes to picking up copyright in terms of audio. Thankfully, within the past like 9 months or whatever, the one Gunsmith Cats reaction was the only like big no. Like, no, you screwed all the way up this time, hombre. And as here we can see likes. So some of these actually did get likes. When I watched the One Piece season finale, or the live action One Piece season finale. Let's see here. When I watched Invader Zim Enter the Floor Pits, that got a like. And then we've got the video that I just put out. Also got a nice little like there. And I know that it might not seem like much to some people. I know there are a lot of big channels out there where if their video only got 17 views, or if they only got one like, then that would be a pretty devastating loss. But, you know, for as things are now, and no, not even as things are now. Let me rephrase that. I am grateful for every view that I get on this channel, every like that my streams and videos get. I'm grateful for all of it. So thank you very much for all the support that you've given the channel thus far, and I hope you'll continue to support us in the future. I've talked plenty about you know, how I'd appreciate it if you give the channel any kind of support, you know, liking, commenting, subscribing, checking us out on social media. Well, here's the appreciation. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything, for all your views, all your likes. Been really awesome. And now to talk a little bit about the future of the channel. Let me grab this. way over here. I bet that sounds great, right? Me rattling around this plastic bag right next to the mic. Let me fish these up. So check this out. There's a Hobby Lobby, just a couple towns over, and I was talking to a coworker about my idea for my next painting stream, and she suggested picking up stamps to make the job a little easier, and so that's what we got here. I mean, I'm not going to tell you exactly what my next painting is going to be about, but I can show you the neat little stamps that I picked up. This is like a little 3-for-1, so that's convenient. Little hippy dippy flower stamp, snowflake. So you can probably guess our next painting stream is going to be very nature themed. Got like a branch, leaves, could be flowers. Big old pine tree stamp. And butterflies. So it's going to be a very hippy-dippy painting stream coming in the future. Don't know exactly when. But I'll workshop that. Got a lot of workshopping to do. Tomorrow's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I got that day off. I am going to be getting lunch with my mom. We're going to a nice little Asian place. That's a little ways down south. They got my favorite pad thai. Very spicy, and they serve it up with like crushed peanuts and lime and shrimp and chicken and all that. So good. But I'm also going to be using that little bit of time off to try and figure out some stuff for the channel and also clean up around here. For a long time, I've had this little cage here. It's supposed to be like a file organizer for my different gaming consoles. But I don't know. I'm still feeling a little boxed in. I guess I'm kind of claustrophobic. Or maybe it's just that I don't feel clean. Like, it feels like clutter kind of boxing me in, you know? And so I picked up a nice little end table. You know, they call it a plant stand, but I use it like an end table. And so it's over here, and I'm going to try and use that as a more discreet way to stow away my consoles and make this space a little more free and easy breezy. I forgot. I should have said this before. There's a little bit of a story with the Psycho Blue over there, where there's a collector's shop that I know that's not too far from here, and he had like this huge influx of Power Rangers merch, and it was neat hanging out with him because he was not necessarily a big fan of Power Rangers, but I am, and so I kind of helped him brush up a bit on his Power Rangers lore. And that context helped him figure out ways to market his Power Ranger stuff. Like, I can sell these better if I know that this action figure goes well with this action figure, and I can like sell them as a set and give people a deal on them. So that was neat. Kind of unintentionally helping that guy. He's been helping me. Big help in getting birthday gifts from my best friend. But for whatever reason, when I bought the Psycho Blue figure, he also gave me this for free. I don't know if anyone recognizes this. It's the little red ladybug helicopter type thing from Big Bad Beetleborgs. And you can see it's very teeny tiny, but there is a little Big Bad Beetleborgs decal right there. And I don't remember. He had two different versions of everything. I don't remember there being two versions. This one just seems like a hunk of plastic. I remember having one where you could, open the cockpit up and put a little teeny tiny, like 1 inch tall Big Bad Beetleborg down in there. And I think the back part opened up too. It had some trunk space. But whatever. I mean, I got it for free, so I can't complain too much. Even if a lot of the paint looks like it's been sandblasted off. Those big chunks of this figure that are just raw plastic. I don't know, maybe he thought he couldn't sell it because it's so scuffed. But, I mean, I appreciate it enough. It goes with my whole red and blue theme going on. So I got it up on my old school CRT over here. But the big change, and this is the eponymous new look of the stream, and don't judge it too harshly. This is a work in progress. I was not able to finish it in time for the stream, but take a look at this. Bam. There it is. I'm working on a new overlay, and I wanted it to be a little more silly, a little more loosey-goosey. So I went with something that draws a bit of inspiration from 90s aesthetics. So you see I got kind of the chalk drawing going on this side, and then almost like graffiti style, like liquid design going on here. And I considered flipping the color palette around, but then I was worried, I don't know, like weird yellow liquid, is it going to look like pee? I don't know. That's not going to be great. And you can see it's got a new logo and a new color. Color is a big deal for me. I really like color, all kinds of color. I have an appreciation for just about every color there is. It's something that I almost always pick up on right away when I look at the design for anything, and it's usually what I think of first when I try to come up with a design for myself. I think of the colors first, and then I try to shape that into something more interesting. And as I discussed earlier, I try to keep the colors very consistent, just for the sake of brand recognition. So I got the hex codes for all my colors jotted down in my phone. So primary color is the azure that you see up here. That's my favorite color right there. It's very specific hue of blue. It's like 2 parts blue and 1 part green. And then the secondary color is this nice ruby red that I cooked up down here. It's not straight red. It's got a teeny bit of blue to help it pop. And then the tertiary color is this topaz here, where it's got just a little bit of red. And then for the longest time, the quaternary color, which, by the way, word of the day, if you didn't know what comes after primary, secondary, tertiary, after that's quaternary, I'd be interested to know what comes after that. Quinternary? I don't know. Just making it up. Maybe that's a real word, maybe it's not. But for the longest time, the quaternary color has been this seafoam green that you see up here. I'm sorry, I still struggle with like the mirrored look. Or it's not even really mirrored. It's just a struggle when it's not mirrored. But yeah, for a long time we've been using the seafoam green. And I really like the way that looks, but I feel like it's time for a change. And so I figured as I update my look, the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors will all stay the same. But maybe for the quaternary color, we can tag that out every once in a while for something different. And so I cooked up this violet that you see here, and we'll be using that for a while. But like I said, this headset display still needs some work. It's a little overbearing. That's definitely... I need to dial this back. Because, I mean, I already said how I feel kind of claustrophobic when there's a lot of clutter around me. This heads-up display. I mean, it's kind of cluttered on purpose. Like I said, it's supposed to be more exaggerated, more out there. But maybe a little too much. Maybe I need to dial that back. You'll see that I have not yet put my Discord. I had always meant to put Discord down there with my socials. I got to work on that. I got to take the socials that you see down there and shrink them down. They're way too big. I am pleased with my own little spins on them, though. I opened up all of these logos in Facebook, and I kind of scuffed them up to help them blend in. I'm rather happy with my job on my own take on the Twitter logo, which, by the way, I'll always call it Twitter, because I am 100% confident that X is not here to stay. Eventually, Elon Musk will realize his mistake. He will realize that X is a stupid, terrible name for a website, and he will renege on it. But yeah, I gotta shrink this down. I gotta fit my Discord down there, and then I also gotta obviously put some other elements here, because I gotta have text, and I'm workshopping where I want the text to be. I think it'll be like up here in this corner. You see how there's a little extra space up there? I figure that's a spot for text. And then where my hand is right now, I thought that would be the new spot for videos or watching One Piece or anything. I mean, doesn't that make way more sense than the old way, where I'm just going to go ahead and switch to One Piece mode real quick, because we're going to be reading it real soon. But doesn't that make way more sense than having it down here in the corner? I mean, as it is right now, I've got One Piece opened up here on this screen. And so I'm kind of looking down at it, and then that's where it is on OBS, so that kind of makes sense. But, you know, you've got this huge region here where my curtains are. I figured I would make better use of that. And so to that end, let me switch back to this. One of the cool things about these monitors, I've showed this off before, but just in case you didn't know, these monitors can go up and down. And I kind of like bumped my camera here, but you know, whatever. It's fine where it is right now. But these monitors can go up and down. So where my eyes are now, that's OBS. And then I push it down, and now it's way down there. So I thought for the new setup, I would start watching things on this monitor instead. Have OBS over here, and then move this monitor up. Because I just feel like if I'm down here in this part of the screen looking up, I don't know, that just makes for way better composition, I think. And look at that, you can see my Is It logo poking out from behind the liquid. So that's the plan. Oh, and another thing, part of the reason why we're switching to Violet is, you know, now that I've finally uploaded my first video, now that it's finally been edited and finalized for the most part, you know, it still has some issues. I want to redouble my efforts to try and figure out how to stream on Twitch. Because that was the plan from the start, was to multi-stream, dual stream, synchro stream, whatever you want to call it, where I'm on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And I just never did figure it out. I haven't had the time or the energy. Thankfully, though, I'm in talks with someone about a change in employment that should afford me some more free time and more energy. No promises, though. Nothing set in stone. But here's hoping it works out. And yeah, I do need to fix my camera. Alright, that's better. But that's something I'm going to be working on, and again, more editing. Really going to try and make it to where the next video doesn't take nearly as long to put out. We'll see, but now it's time for some One Piece. So let's switch it up. And golly, it's been a long time, hasn't it? In retrospect, it's a good thing that I kind of spaced it out, right? Because most other fans, they had to wait like a full 2 weeks. Or was it 3 weeks? I don't remember. But I mean, there was like there was a time when I couldn't read the chapter because I was still on Christmas vacay. And so I just kind of put that off. And then I was kind of waiting for a new chapter to come out, and then it never did. So I just read the old new chapter. And so that kind of helped us pace ourselves during this One Piece drought. But here we are now, finally, with Chapter 1136, The Country That Awaits the Sun. And what the stink is going on? What's going on with Speech? She looks awful. Why she got like this square head and no shoulders? And Who's Who has a place in Wano now? A mysterious hidden base in Udon. Made up of what? The remnants of the Beast Pirates? I need a drink. Too much talking, not enough drinking. Unfortunately, my live wire is totally tapped out. And I don't feel like getting a new one. Like I said, this stream is probably going to be short. Just like a couple hours. But, okay. Who's Who? I wonder if we're going to see him unmasked. I mean, that's not a big deal if, whether we do or don't, but I don't know. But nice that this... I mean, we're pretty deep in this cover story. It's volume 22, and I finally feel like we've stumbled upon the plot. It took long enough. Oda says, I went to Miyakajima over New Year's and chilled out with some karage, champuru, and non-alcoholic... There's non-alcoholic beer? Don't really see what the point of that is. I think beer's pretty nasty. Once you take out the alcohol, what's the point? Living it up like it's already summer. See, even... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the way that this could be taken out of context. Even the meat is huge. Okay. Alright, translator. It's so tasty. This moose reminds me of dinosaur meat. It's been a while since Luffy's had cooked dinosaur meat. I'm surprised he remembers. They're quite tricky to catch, as ferocious as they are delicious. No task is too great if it's for our savior. Oh my gosh, I forgot how huge Mountain Beard is compared to other giants. I appreciate Hajruden and Stanson. D Gaga, glad you like it. And who's this cutie over here with the striped outfit? That's not Ripley, is it? It's rare for humans to make it all the way to the Sun Realm. Most confuse the underworld for Elbaf proper and flee before they find their way up here. Listen up. The mighty Ors was a warrior, legendary even to you giants. He'd tower over any of you 3 times over. And guess who finally finished him? That's right, it was me. Way to go, Captain Usopp. Man, Usopp looks really good now. Really digging his Elbaf look. Wow, your skin is really blue. You should see Fishman Island. There's as many skin tones as there are fish in the sea. I've always wanted to see a mermaid. Oh my gosh, look at this creep. No shame in that. They're a sight to behold. Mermaid Cove is more enticing than heaven itself. Whoa. That said, my heart soars just as much when I see you giant ladies. My man Sanji got the good taste. Oh, Sanji-kun, you're so silly. It's cute. Woohoo, beauties everywhere I look. I'm getting buried in babes. And what are you? Who, me? I can answer with my own blues. My what the heck am I ditty. Yeah, I guess it's a big wide world out there. Let's toast to it. I'm surprised so many giants have never gone out to sea. Yeah, I assumed they were all pirates. I mean, that is the way it feels. But, wow, the giants very open to different things, I notice. Like, every strange new thing they see or hear is just a quaint novelty to them. Different races and tall tales and such. Yeah, Namitaso. I want to apologize to you and this utter straw hat about before. Sheesh, what was this character's name again? He ain't gonna be forgiven that easily, but beating a proper apology out of him was the least we could do. Gerd Tasso's sadistic side really makes my heart flutter. Don't sweat it, it's not like anyone died. Although that's only because Usopp stopped me. If he didn't, it would have been your head. Oh man, Zoro, please take off that stupid looking mask. I can't believe he put it back on. Golly. Wah, da ha ha. Rodo, gya gya gya. Don't tell me you picked a fight without checking their current bounties. You never stood a chance. Oh boy, people who say that bounties are power levels, they're gonna have a field day with this. Don't hold back next time. Gerd Tasso. She's so harsh, I can't get enough. You know, Rodo might be a creep, but at least he's got good taste. Come on, everyone born here on Elbaf shares the same dream. To become the next sun god and rule the world. What? What? Sun god? Yeah, Zoro's just as confused as I am. Are you kidding me? The sun god isn't a ruler. That's right, he's the god of liberation. More like destruction. You're wrong. Everyone knows he was the god of laughter. It's getting rowdy. What's this about a god? The sacred Harley texts have been passed down for generations in Elbaf. The legends are written in an archaic language, so there have been countless interpretations. No one can say for sure which translation is accurate. I suspect it may be all of them. And this is the result. According to the Harley texts, why is it called the Harley texts? The world has already been destroyed twice before. Twice? I mean, there was a time when everything got flooded and, you know, it was the Void Century and there were ancient weapons and stuff, and that was really rough. But twice? What do you mean twice? I don't know about any other time the world's been destroyed. And the name of sun god Nika is invoked after each instance. Nika. Who can say if he was the world's savior or the great destroyer who brought it crashing down? All we know for sure is that he heralds great change. That's why the rulers of the day always tend to fear Nika's return. Nika. That's the guy, that's such a classic trope, by the way. The idea that people in power fear change because they've already got what they want. What could change bring other than to take away what they have? That's the guy Bonnie mentioned. Yes, the sun god has become a symbol, someone the hopeless and desperate turn to for salvation. Am I close enough? Let me pull this a little closer. I'm always scared because there's a little aside, but you know, when I was editing that first video, it was so quiet. Way too quiet, and the audio would fluctuate too. Sometimes it was even more quiet. And so I had to futz with the volume a lot. And ever since then, I've been really nervous about being loud enough for people to hear. Because I tend too much to like lean way back and pull back from everything. But I really need to try to project my voice at the mic. They say Nika is adorned by white clouds, with white hair and white clothes to boot, and he is said to have a contagious, booming laugh. No wonder everyone's been saying I look similar. But I'm sure he's got nothing to do with me. Yeah, sure. Sure, Luffy, okay. Don't be so dismissive, Straw Hat. You'd understand if you were born on Elbaf. We all look up to Nika. Not to defend Roto, but he wasn't lying about us all sharing the same dream. Loki was the same. I believe his motive for Harold's murder was his attempt to follow in Nika's footsteps. Nothing can justify what he did, Elder. Loki. So he's a good guy? No way in hell. What the... Come on, Luffy. He's the accursed prince. There was a prophecy before Loki was born that foretold that King Harold would be slain by his son. Then, shortly after his birth, the royal steed, the Horse of Fortune, died. That was the same year that Linlin murdered the legendary hero Jorl. And the tragedies kept coming. A year later, the queen herself passed on. The princeling would go on... Is that a word? Princeling? Would go on to use his natural strength to make the realm of the dead his own personal playground. Oh wow, look at his silhouette. So Loki used to be pretty goofy looking. That was something I'd been thinking of, how the way Loki looks now, where he's super cool, does not match his old silhouette at all. He killed many of those ferocious beasts and tamed the rest. He even released a few into the villages, and that was all by the age of 10. He was an arsonist. Loki's mischief endangered countless lives. He had the authority of a prince and a malicious personality. He caused hell whenever the king wasn't looking. He sounds a lot like a giant version of Odin. Then finally, in that very castle, Loki king-killed Harold. Man, that guy's built like an absolute unit. Look at how square he is. He looks like a door. The greatest monarch Elbaf ever knew. A splendid wise man who tried to connect with the outside world, to get people to see beyond Elbaf's feared reputation as a land of warriors. Lord Jarl was stabbed trying to stop Loki. My helmet saved me in the end. It didn't save anything. Loki's reign of terror finally came to an end 6 years ago. He was running amok at sea when Redhair captured him. Shanks? Shanks really came here? Yeah, in fact, he was just here earlier. I'm not sure where he went off to, though. 6 years ago. Wasn't Brand New saying that, Commodore Brand New, wasn't he saying that Shanks only became an emperor 6 years ago? It's an interesting coincidence. Not sure if it is a coincidence. Village outskirts. I thought you were acting weirdly on edge earlier. That explains it. You realize he's a reviled Kingslayer, right? Everything he told you was obviously a lie. Oh my gosh. So Luffy told Zoro all that stuff that Loki told him. He said he knew where Shanks was. Do you have any idea how badly I want to see him again? Yes, I've heard about it 1,000 times. Sounds to me like he was using that to trick you. How would you ever know? You've never met Loki yourself. I haven't. I'm just guessing based on his reputation. I'll tell you everything I know. That includes Redhair's current whereabouts. If that was really a lie, I'm gonna send him flying. And why does Nami look so young here with like a little scrawny neck? If you're sneaking off to do what I think you are, did you seriously expect to find your way there without me? Listen up, Luffy. We'll get the key. But if he pulls anything funny, we'll have to take care of him. Got it, thanks. But why's this guy here? He's Manu's slave. I'm truly blessed. Don't forget, I'm her #1 slave, and Sanji's #2. Oh my gosh. Okay, Zeus. Man, is Roto gonna be stuck looking like this from now on? Strong girls really get my blood pumping. He's been struck by lightning, literally. Namitaso, isn't it neat how we're both navigators? Don't ever try to get close to me again. Yes, ma'am. Feels wrong for the guests of honor to bail so early. She. Don't worry, I brought some meat. Have you tried this moose? They're all in a drunken stupor now. They probably can't remember what they're celebrating. Say, if all the treasure in the castle suddenly disappeared, would that be a problem, Roto? My vision is awful, so I'm sure I wouldn't even notice. You had this in mind since the beginning, didn't you, Nami? Huh? Your eyes. Dogahaha. So that's what it is. Realm of the Dead. Dogahaha. If I understood you correctly, then I'm afraid I'll have to step back and refuse your offer. I'm sure it's an honor to be invited to join your noble knights, but that would make you celestial dragons, right? Do you really expect anyone on the planet to willingly become scum like that? Do we have any intel? All the informants we sent to Elbaf reported a giant crow heading for them before their transmissions got cut off. Their weakness is beyond belief. Huh. Okay, hold on. I gotta unpack this. Okay, so they're all on the way to the castle to get treasure and the key for Loki. Everyone else is off celebrating. And now, these guys are checking out Loki. Loki does not act like he's familiar with the man who's right in front of him. So, I don't know. Were the rumors true? Is this not actually Shanks? You still don't get to see the left side of his face. This is really starting to feel intentional. This guy is not Shanks. He's not. I am like 90% convinced of it now. This guy is not Shanks. He is like a brother of Shanks. Another child that Garling had. This is really funky. And then there's talk of a giant crow. Maybe it's one of the animals that Loki tamed? Ooh. Okay. We got the funky eyes going on. I'm done just standing by and listening. This is the definition of impertinence. Oh my gosh. Honey, it is snowing out. Put some pants on. Shururu, I won't let it stand. God's Knight, Gunko. And she got some funky footwear on. And whatever's going on here, you notice it's like a big arrow? Doesn't that kind of look like the thing that totally nailed King Cobra? And it turns white. Interesting. Huh. This person... They have some sort of special paramecia that turns them into paper. I know there was once like a non-canon character who had a paper Logia. I won't let it stand. Don't be hasty, Gunko. Grr. Doga, ha ha. Eat him up, Wolf. Hey, stay back if you want to keep breathing. Well, she's only changing her clothes, so maybe it's not a special Paramecia thing, but it is interesting. And then she... What? Is she like... She's cutting it up. And she's making this little gesture with her fingers, almost like they're scissors. Grr. Huh? Hey, Wolf. Oh, gack. Wolf, if we were to spare him, would you change your mind then? Grr, so that's how you operate, huh? Well, if that was your offer, I'd accept my friend's fate and wish him peace and death. It's okay to grieve and rage, but a warrior never kicks and screams in the face of death. I'll swallow all my fury and use it to fuel me when I reduce this world to rubble. A proud proclamation. Chapter 1136 ends. Once again, it doesn't say that there's going to be a break next week, but you never know. But, I mean, this was a pretty okay chapter. It feels like... It's definitely better than last time. I was feeling pretty wishy-washy about last chapter, but this... It's starting to feel like things are actually moving. We've been formally introduced to this character. We're seeing a little bit of what she can do. She doesn't wear pants, so that's great. Zoro's got his dumb mask back on, so that's not great. Learning a little bit more about Loki and the Giant's perspective on Nika. Yeah, this little graphic here, that's pretty cool looking. That'd make like a sick tattoo, I think. Still trips me out that apparently the last Nika was armed. That seems so strange to me. I don't know. Everything about the way that Devil Fruit works, it just seems so suited for barehanded combat. It'd be weird to think of Luffy suddenly breaking out the sword and board. Or how he would even, like, utilize them. It's supposed to be cool if he, like, surf on the shield. But yeah, definitely a better chapter than last one. Definitely. And as for next week, well, it's like I said. They say there's no break, but you know, what they say and what they do don't always line up. So, assuming there's a chapter next week, we'll be streaming again. Probably going to be at the same time, like usual, you know, Sunday at 1. And that'll also give me some time to think about what I want to do, because I have several ideas for videos. Now, one, obviously, is the next painting stream that I got going on. And I got to practice with these stamps to make sure that they work the way I want them to, because if it's going to be another acrylic painting, but if I mash these down into the paint and then I try stamping them and it just turns into a big mess, that's not gonna work. I have to find another solution. I also thought about checking out a movie that I've been meaning to watch for a very long time. The Thief and the Cobbler. Very famous, unfinished movie. Animated movie. Where, like, just a brief story about it. Like a master animator started work on it long time ago, and he spent like 24 years on it because he wanted it to be his masterpiece. Literally, he had this like classical idea of like, once you master your medium, then you make your masterpiece to show off what you've learned. And so he was dead set on making this the most perfect, most immaculate, miraculous animation ever. But like the steps he took to make that happen did not play nice with the corporate side of the production, and so eventually they took it away from him. They gave it over to like some scrubs, and they just hashed out some quick and dirty animation to finish it and rush it out for a theatrical release. And the dark comedy of it all is that it started production way before Aladdin, served as the inspiration for Aladdin, and then didn't come out until after Aladdin, which then caused it to be perceived by many as an Aladdin ripoff. So a very storied, very tragic past, but there exists a version of it on YouTube called the Recobble Cut, where animation enthusiasts were able to put together the film along with discarded cells and storyboards and such, and you know, pun very much intended, they cobbled together a new version that was more faithful to the original vision. And I've watched clips of it many times. I've seen what the animation is like. It is absolutely breathtaking, and it's a damn shame what happened to it. And I would like to see this recobbled cut, and I'd like to check that out on the channel. So not sure which will come first, if I want to do the painting first or if I want to do the movie first. And then there's also the previously discussed Guyver Midnight. I gotta figure out when that is premiering, so I can check that out on the channel as well. Help promote that guy's work, because, I mean, you know, us Guyver fans, we're a rare breed. We gotta stick together. But I think that'll do it for the stream, unless there's something else I wanted to put together real quick. I mean, it hasn't even been 2 hours. And, yeah. I gotta figure out what's going on with Twitch streaming. It'd be really nice to check this out. There was an update to OBS that added a bunch of stuff. And I think that might actually help make it easier to debut on Twitch. You know what? I'm getting ahead of myself, because the thing I should actually be doing first is updating my computer. You know, I said the necessary step to finally streaming Psychonauts 2 like I wanted was reinstalling Windows 10. Now I think we're at the point, I mean, they've put out that that Microsoft is not supporting Windows 10 anymore. So I think it's time to just move on to Windows 11. I tried to get an installation from Best Buy, but they don't even do physical distros anymore. So I'm going to have to order that. I mean, they told me how to do it digitally, but I don't feel like it. That did not feel comfortable to me. Because he said something about how, oh, then you'll have to go get a key from this other website. You know, this shady secondary website. You know, it didn't feel right to me. I'm just used to, like, this installation of Windows 10 that I got going on right now. I picked up a physical thumb drive that had it on there from a store, and then it just worked. Why can't they do that? That trip to Best Buy was atrocious. Because obviously, along with the new installation of Windows 11, I wanted to get a new hard drive. I forget what they call it. It had been a long time between PC builds, because I like to just build once and then not update or iterate it at all. Just try and get as much of it as I can before I gotta spend another $3,000 or $4,000. I mean, who knows what it's gonna be. The next time I'm gonna need a new computer, it could be like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. The way inflation is going. But yeah, we've moved past the old days of spinning media, and so now they got these little sticks. I think they're called like PCIe or something. You gotta pick up another one of those. I wanted to pick it up from Best Buy, but I went into that section. What do they got? They got pictures of hard drives that you can buy online, and it's like, why did I come to a brick and mortar Best Buy just to be told that I should shop online instead? Stupid. I don't expect the brick and mortar Best Buys are going to last very long if that's how they're going to do business, right? Just forward you to that's like the Final Fantasy 9 like paperback guide that they sold, the infamous like worst strategy guide ever, where anytime you want to find out anything, it only tells you the bare minimum and says go to playonline.com, check out this link, type this link into your computer, and then you'll get the walkthrough part of this walkthrough. I don't know. So it's supposed to be progress, but a lot of times it feels like the digitization of goods and services just winds up being really backwards. You can't undersell the convenience of just going to a place and then immediately getting something, and it's in your hands. There's no steps. There's no waiting for it to ship. There's no going to websites that you don't trust. There's no typing something in. You just go and get it, and then you have it. Frustrating. So yeah, so between updating my computer, trying to get Psychonauts 2 to work, updating my battle station here, figuring out how to stream on Twitch, and then figuring out which of these 3 different things I want my next stream to be about, I've got a full plate. So we'll see how it works. But until then, thanks for watching. If you could like this video, that would be really appreciated. A subscription even more so. And feel free to leave a comment telling me about what you thought about the last One Piece chapter, or about my newest video. You can give me some editing tips to try and make the next one go a little smoother. You can tell me what you think about my new overlay, which, just real quick, let me go ahead and pull that up. I already said it needs more work. But you can tell me what I might be able to do to make this a little better. And I might follow your advice. No guarantees, no promises. Give me some streaming ideas. Or you could tell me your experience with Best Buy brick and mortar stores, good or bad. Lately I feel like it's been bad. I don't even think they sell anime anymore on DVDs. I don't think they sell DVDs or Blu-rays or 4K at all, which sucks. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, any support that you can give the channel at all will be greatly appreciated. And until next time, have a good day, and enjoy your day off tomorrow. I know I will. Time to pick up some pad thai. Y'all have a good night. No. Yes. That's better.